Hi, it's Paul here from Windsurfing Real World Reviews, and today I'm reviewing my first impressions of the 2014 Fanatic Falcon 132 slalom board and the 2017 Severne Overdrive R7 that I bought very recently. And what I'm planning on doing is just talking over the footage as it's playing out here in front of us. So I took the kit out last Saturday. That was the 13th of March. Temperature is about 2 degrees, good old sunny Scotland. Wind varying from 2 knots to maybe some gusts of 20 knots at time, but a lot of very variable wind. One of the biggest things I was trying to work out was what would this board and sail combo be like if it was really marginal? And that's particularly important to me to be able to get out in lighter winds. That's what I bought it for. And I'm 96 kilograms with my wet wetsuit and wet harness on. So as you can see on the screen in front of you right now, it was very marginal, and I put that to the test. It was up and down. We had a lot of wind shadows, very gusty, almost no wind at some points. So it was certainly difficult conditions. What I was impressed with, and you can see that here, is how quickly the board and the sail accelerated when I did get some wind. And it took me a little while because it's a long time since I've used slalom kit to get used to it. But once I started getting in the groove with the kit and not thinking I was wave sailing, I found that I could get quite a lot out of the board and the sail quickly, quickly accelerate, quickly get up to some reasonable speed. And I was impressed by that. Really easy to use. The board was really easy to sail, really easy to get going. Again, adjustment from me in terms of foot strap positioning. I'm used to very inboard foot straps. These are right on the edge of the board and the rail. And also the sail too. It's a big race sail, big race slalom sail. Feels very different, unsurprisingly, to my wave kit. But first impressions of the board, really good. It's 82 centimeters wide, 132 liters in volume, and loads of width and volume for me to be stable on, an uphaul if I had to, no problem if there wasn't enough wind. But when the wind hit, like I said, and you can see that here, I felt acceleration was pretty good. And this is on a board that's now, what, 6-7 years old? So I was impressed. I was really impressed. In terms of the sail, I was probably even more impressed with. I think there is loads of tuning that I need to experiment with to get a lot more out of the sail. There's a bit of a clip at the end of this video where I've talked from the shore of this loch, this little lake, about the setup of the sail, and that's something I'm going to work on in time, particularly for sort of light and marginal winds, is just to get that downhaul and the outhaul right. But I did play about with that and definitely made a big improvement. Loads of power though from the sail, and I think I was impressed because I know this is not Severne's full-on race sail. This is their sort of slightly detuned race sail, but still loads of power, loads of locked-in draft. The sail twisting away nicely at the top, which was really good. Fin-wise, I bought a G10 44 centimeter starboard ready to race, and I was really impressed with that, although at times I was surprised that it didn't feel like I could push hard enough against it, and whether that was, again, not having enough wind, I don't know. But I'm going to be doing a review on fins in the future. So I hope that's been good just from a sort of first impressions perspective. I was impressed with the kit, more so from the fact that the conditions were awful and the kit was pretty good, and my technique's not very good either at the moment. I need to work on that for slalom sailing. I hope that's useful and hope you enjoyed it. Right, so one of the things that I really found interesting today and probably struggled with a bit was just how I rigged the sail. Initially, I rigged it without doubt without enough downhaul, and here on the shore of this reservoir that I'm at, as you can see, where I went sailing today, I stood the sail up, checked it, thought, yeah, that looks pretty good. I went out in the water. I reckon the wind was maybe around about probably 12 knots, 13 knots to start with, gusting up to about 18, 19, 20, and I was really struggling to handle the sail. And after about 3 or 4 runs, I went into the shore at the side over there and took the rig off the board and cranked another couple of centimetres of downhaul on, and that made a massive difference. Suddenly the sail was working exactly as it should do, and I think I've got the leech falling away. It's probably pretty much to the boomerang, maybe the top of the boomerang, maybe even just a little bit down. But I think it's given the right kind of shape now, definitely. Loads of power down here, you know, loads and loads of drive at the bottom of the sail, and then the sail's actually twisting off nicely at the top. And the difference for me from feeling how it was initially when I went out to doing that and then going back out again was incredible. So it made a massive difference. I have played about a bit with the outhaul. I don't have an adjustable outhaul on this. I probably will get one. I was resisting that, but I can see why it's a good idea on these types of kit. But outhaul, I'm just playing with it at the moment. I guess the sail's pretty full, but it's supposed to be. It's a, you know, kind of race slalom-y type sail, so it's supposed to be pretty full. And in terms of how it's rotating on the mast, I would say I'm not particularly happy with that yet. I think that's something else I need to solve. So I don't have a Severne mast in there. I have got a Mavericks 490 SDM, which is a nice mast. I think it's around about 80% carbon, so it's a nice, you know, it's quite light. It's definitely light, and the rig feels light, even with that's not a carbon boom, that's an aluminium boom, but the rig feels pretty light. But yeah, I wasn't super happy with the rotation of the cams, so I think that needs a bit of work. I.e., I might have to buy a Severne mast. In fact, I think I probably will. Right, so that's one of those things. What else? Yeah, I think as first impressions, I'm pretty impressed. But I guess what I'm learning is it's going to need some tweaking and some fine tuning to get it right.